Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I am your slightly drowsy but still excellently handsome host, Midnight Sun, and today we are going to be heading up the treacherous Death Mountain. It's not very treacherous and I'm very drowsy, so let's dive right into this. You know what? I decided just now that I'm not even going to do a second take. However badly this one screws up, that's what you're getting. I don't care, and I'm trying to keep up with my, more than one update a week thing, so I'm keeping promises here. It's good, right? Right. Anyway, Impa told us to go over here to Kakariko Village, so that's what we do. It doesn't really look too much like a ninja town, though, and Impa's a ninja. I was kind of hoping to get some ninja training and some ninja stars to throw at non-ninja things for being not a ninja. But unfortunately, it seems all they do these days is train clock soldiers to be able to perfectly tell the time, no matter what time of day it is. What? No. Okay, so apparently, yeah, whatever. Kakariko Village is now a normal town that they are trying to build up. And they only have a small population now, which is to say they have about a tenth of the population of the entirety of Hyrule. You go to Hyrule Castle Town, one of the tropes for Legend of Zelda is like a ghost country, something like that, where there's like nobody around, but it's still treated like a full country or a full city. Anyways, who's this douchebag? Alright, he's the boss of the carpenters. Okay, so basically this guy here, he doesn't really do too much. He has a pretty unique animation, but that's pretty much it. He will be important later on as we collect stuff and deliver things. And no, dude, I don't really think that your dudes are running aimlessly around. I think they're prancing. I think you should, yeah, get on that. Anyway, he's also saying that his son is worthless because he doesn't have a job and he just loafs around all day. So he's like I was a couple of weeks ago. Yay, I got a job. But anyways, before we go anywhere else, let's check out this. Let's check out this house here. Why not? Why not? Well, why should we? There's actually a very excellent reason why we do. This is the House of Skulltula, and that scary thing that just popped down that looks as like has a freaky face, like it's some kind of face-stealing monster of spidery doom. Nope, it's actually a cursed Hylian. Apparently Ganondorf just likes to run around and throw curses at everything. So, like, he throws a curse at a tree, he throws a curse at a cavern, he even throws a curse at some rich family in Kakariko. Maybe he's not all that into capitalism, so he's like, you know what? You're a capitalist pig. You better hope he doesn't come down on the rest of the Kokiri. But anyways, this is the reason why we collect the gold Skulltulas. There are 5 smaller dudes we're going to see pop down, one of them. But there are 5 smaller dudes around the perimeter of this room. And each time that we get 10 Skulltulas, yeah, by the way, he just said, oh, you don't have to, it's just our dream. But if you do, we're totally going to make you rich, bro. Okay, thanks. Alright. Sorry, stuff. Anyways, but yeah, we only have 3 Skulltulas right now, but every time that you get 10, you get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, each of the children wake up, and then when you get 100, the dude in the middle wakes up. And he's all like, thanks man, here's something useless, and we'll be seeing what that useless thing is. I'll give you a hint, and that's something to do with being very rich, and something useless that's just everywhere. Anyways, I uselessly equipped my ocarina, because as the guard said, we need the king's permission, but we have something that's just as good, as it turns out. If anybody here remembers, Princess Zelda is a pretty popular figure among the people of Hyrule, so let's see what her signature does on this guy here. But first, let's just talk to him. I could read the sign, but I just want you to tell me. And dick. Okay, so this guy's a total dick. He thinks that kids can't read, so let's show him this letter. Totally show him we know how to read. Yeah, take that, man. What you gonna do about it? Totally drowsy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Princess Zelda writes something completely embarrassing on there. And he, apparently the princess likes to play games where she throws, other small children into deadly situations a lot. So this guy's laughing because of the suffering of the other children that have died in her quest. Maybe the Deku Tree sent out like 4 or 5 other Kokiri that we just didn't know about. Or nobody talks about anymore because they are forbidden, they are lost, they're blah, 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 they're dead Kokiri, nobody talks about dead Kokiri, children of the corn kind of thing. Anyways, he's also telling us that we should get a proper shield. And even though we love our Deku shield, or at least I do, there are going to be a couple times where wearing it is simply a death sentence for it. So we might as well go and get that. And like I mentioned in the last video, I think I mentioned in the last video, I remember mentioning that there's at least one way to get a cheaper shield. This is one of the ways to get a cheaper Hylian shield. You know, it's possible to get the 80 rupees that it costs, but there are two ways actually to get a cheaper Hylian shield right around here. So let's, we're going to check out the second one after this guy's done talking about him wanting to get a mask. This is actually the first time you hear about this whole mask thing. If you were especially, you know, studious and you went around Hyrule Castle Town, you would have noticed that there was a shop to the right of the path leading to Hyrule Castle that had the Happy Mask shop, but it wasn't opened yet. It will now be open after you talk to this guy. I remember when I was a kid, I heard him saying that. I was like, ha ha ha, no, it's not open. I was just there. But then I got proven wrong, and I felt like a total loser. And I still am a total loser, so I guess this was a defining point in my life. Anyways, like I said, these carpenters... This guy over here actually does something different. You saw him prancing around. Then he stops over here where nobody can see him, and he acts like the boss of the carpenters. And then he goes back. And if you think they look really flamboyant here, wait until you get to the 3DS version. It is dreadful. Speaking of dreadful, we're here in the graveyard. And Dampé the Gravedigger is not around there. No, that kid is not the Gravekeeper. Dampé the Gravedigger only comes out at night. But this little kid will become important later, but right now he's just going to be an impediment. See, if you try and pull this grave back, which is obviously my goal here, he does not respond. And you might wonder why we're trying to go after this specific grave. There are so many other ones. Well, actually, okay, you'll notice that that one actually had some flowers in front. Now, that's going to become important later on, too. But also, there are butterflies over the grave. Now, if you have butterflies over an area, that's a pretty good indication that there's going to be something there, but this little douchebag isn't letting us do anything. You know, I thought maybe if I let him turn his back to us, he would do something, but... Okay, he says he'll tell Dampé, but... Alright, what if we do it with Dampé here? Alright, let's grab this thing. Ah, Dampé, you are awesome, man. Dampé does not mind at all if you grab that thing. He doesn't mind if you mess with the graves at all. In fact, he makes a business out of messing with the ground around the graves. So, we'll see that later, too. Anyway, you go into this hole, and there are two things besides the fire. There's a wall that sounds funny when you hit it. Unfortunately, we cannot go through that wall right now, and we won't really have much purpose for going through that wall. I'll show it's there later, but for now we're here for this treasure chest. Which happens to be, oh my goodness, shock and surprise, a Hylian shield. I wonder how I knew that. I wonder why we came here. Well, this is why we're here, for the Hylian shield. It was one of those places also where if you already had a Hylian shield, there would have only been 5 rupees. But, so we're here at the Bazaar now, the Bazaar. I still don't know how to pronounce this thing. Anyway, we're here at the shop. We're here at the shop, and there's the Hylian shield. Costs 80 rupees, it says. You might think at first, hey, I thought I had a discount. But no, then he actually mentions the fact that you have a discount. So we get a good deal. And a good deal in this case is actually saving 20 rupees. So you'll notice I should be going down to only 19 rupees, but 39. So we only have to pay 60 rupees for that. So if you really like spending money or you don't know where that thing is, then that's how you get your Hylian shield. So there you go. Come on. Alright, now we're back at Death Mountain Trail, and let's head up. Now we have the overworld theme, of course. This being part of the overworld, because it's one of the places where time can pass. It's a pretty good indication if time can pass in that particular area, if the overworld music is playing in all of its glory. By the way, hang on. Ah, I just heard that wonderful sound. That sound, of course, means that we are going to have to go back here to get a gold Skulltula later. But for now, let's run around and... Oh, there was a big boulder in front of something. I wonder if we're going to have to do something with that boulder later. I wonder... Anyways, going around the corner, this is where we get our first good look at a Goron. Gorons are friendly, peace-loving little dudes who like to sit around all day and eat rocks and complain about dodongos. But they mean us no harm. And, whoa, dude. Hold your horses. Alright, so that guy, we'll see what he does in a few minutes, but he doesn't do any damage to you if he knocks you over, which he can if you let yourself get hit by him. But if you get knocked into the ravine to the right there, you'll take a full heart of damage. Which is pretty deadly this early on in the game, actually. Welcome to Goron City. Goron City is full of wonderful things, like, well, nothing much right now. We can't really access a lot of this city, actually. And a lot of the things that you can do here require items that we have not obtained yet. Speaking of obtaining things, something used to be set in this stand. Hey, you! Get up! Get up! No, don't roll at him, Harvey. That's rude. You're a visitor in his land. I think it's more dangerous for you. You're the rock-eating person. You're really heavy. I'm not really sure how this thing is supporting your weight. It must be a really strong rope. Anyway, he's saying that there was a red stone, and the red stone was highlighted, which means it must have been something important. And he's actually revealing now that the spiritual stone is probably the stone that used to be here, which is what we're looking for. Now we're gonna learn a little. We're gonna learn the subplot of this entire, not really the subplot, but the entire plot about this entire area and what's going on here. But you'll notice if you go and talk to a lot of the Gorons, they're gonna talk about how they're hungry. They are very, very hungry. They want munchies for their tummies, but they can't get any because there's a reason for it, and you might want to know that reason. Well, it has to do with Ganondorf being fickle with his curses and just being like, you know what? Let's throw curses everywhere. Wee, wee, wee. But if you talk to this Matt, and just like the guy up there said, Darunia, the boss of the Gorons, is waiting for the royal family's messenger, which means we need to play the song that proves our ties to the royal family. That being a lullaby for a little prophet, Zelda. All right, so now we're in the big boss's room. Big boss, Darunia, it's you. How's it going? It's me, Harvey. Who am I? I'm who I just said I am. Who are you? I asked first. Jeez. When you heard the song, how did you open it up, man? How'd you open up that door? Well, probably magic. Yeah, he's the big boss of the Gorons. Yeah, your sworn brother, the king. He didn't send me here, but his daughter did. So now he's getting really pissed off at us because, first of all, we're doing a horrible imitation of Solid Snake. Second of all of this stuff. So apparently, the ancient creatures Dodongos have infested Dodongo's cavern. They're not able to export explosives, and apparently Dodongo's cavern is the only place where they have rocks tasty enough to eat because their walls aren't good enough. Those of you who played Majora's Mask will remember that there was actually a Goron who wanted some Dodongo sirloin, which I actually thought at first was supposed to be an actual Dodongo, but then I remembered, wait a second, the Dodongos were actually unwelcome in Dodongo's cavern. Like it was just named in their memory. So this must be rock. Which makes sense. Gorons eat rocks. They don't eat Dodongos. Dodongos are supposed to be extinct, apparently. By the way, Deku Stick! Deku Sticks are absent from this entire part of the world, except in a couple of jars. The one right there, and in Darunia's room too, there's a jar. If you keep on breaking them open, you'll eventually find one, but... Wait a second, I see some braziers over there, and braziers usually signify that there's something important. So let's talk to this guy over here. Come on, man. Get up, get up. Don't be threatened by my itty-bitty sword. Probably can't pierce you anyway. I hear something. Yeah, see, another guy talking about how hungry he is, but I hear something, man. I hear some weird music. Anyways, everybody is completely flabbergasted by the word spiritual stone. They're like, what the heck is that? And they all realize that it's the red stone then. There, though. So, oh geez, I just saw my my vocal thing on Audacity. It looks very loud. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, but he's saying that, we should bring fire because it's cold. Because, the spiritual stone of fire, I guess, was supplying fire to all the braziers around here. So let's be good citizens of Hyrule and help out our fellow sentient beings. Let's grab our awesome Deku Stick that we got from stealing from that one guy up there. Yeah, I didn't mention that, but the guy who is like right up the stairs behind that big jar thing, he mentions how he hit a Deku Stick, and he feels very clever and proud of himself. But then we break into it, and it's like, oh, sorry, bro. Anyways, I take out my sword to save my Deku Stick, and then I use the fire that I have obtained over here to bring up to those two important looking braziers. And we get a 1. And can I get a 2? Why did I do that? Anyways, I guess I was just trying to be really, really safe. And that music. Oh, it's so familiar. What is it from? I don't know. Yes, I do. But now we tell him... This is one of the parts where it's obvious Harvey is saying something because he's like, he reacted to what we said. But apparently, even though Darunia is very grumpy right now, everybody likes the music that comes from this tunnel. Maybe if we could find some way of communicating this sound into his little Goron ear holes. You know, if we could just get through those rocks. Gee, how are we supposed to get through rocks? Oh, I know. If we remember our game mechanics. This is something that maybe not a lot of people knew, because you didn't ever really need to do it in Ocarina of Time originally. But if you hit a bomb flower, if you just, like, you know, slide a Deku stick that's on fire across a bomb flower on the wall, it'll fall down off of the wall. It blows up a little bit faster too, but then you have a bomb flower. Oh god. Railroaded into another conversation with Capriel Gabordabra. Still don't really know how to pronounce his name. Anyways, he basically just mentioned something about the sound coming from this forest and magic, and we should follow the sounds. Because if we follow the sounds, we'll be able to make it somewhere important. By the way, if you decided to break sequence and you went straight to Kakariko Village after leaving Kokiri Forest, you would have actually met that guy also on top of the tree to the right of the path leading up to Kakariko. But that's only if you did that. Yeah, actually we haven't been to Lost Woods yet. I don't know. Anyway, so the Lost Woods, there's always going to be 4 holes leading out of each little like square area. The way you know whether or not the hole leads to another section, it's really easy. They took this your ability to tell this out of the 3DS version. But if you look at the, like, we're about to see it coming up, and I showed it a couple times there. If you see that light at the end of the tunnel kind of effect, that means that that hole leads you into some whole new area or out of the forest entirely. But they make it pretty easy to you know, tell where you're going if you just listen to the music every time you go near a hole. And we just entered the Sacred Forest. Meadow. Oh, Wolfos. Okay. This actually is the first place that I got really truly scared in Legend of Zelda, because I saw those blank glowing eyes of the Wolfos and I just flipped out as a little kid. I think I may have peed myself a little bit. But this is just like a little maze. We have to kill some Deku Scrubs and get to the end of it. And alright, slice, dice. Just cut him into pieces. Firewood, Deku Scrubs, whatever. Anyways, so so Harvey is running through this. We're gonna have to go through this place one more time, a little bit later on. And oh yeah, by the way, don't get too close to a Deku Scrub, otherwise it won't come out of its little hidey hole in the ground. But we're gonna have to come to this place one more time as an adult. Spoiler alert: you have to become an adult in this game, which isn't too much of a spoiler, because if you look at any pictures for Ocarina of Time, or if you just paid attention to the opening scene, you would have seen a very tall Link. So don't anybody try and say, oh, you shouldn't have mentioned you can't get that, because it's basically how this game goes, and it's everywhere in the... I don't have time to explain it to people. Like I said, I'm only doing one take of this, and I am very tired and kind of grumpy right now. So I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna cool my head for a little bit, and I'm just gonna let this happen here. So enjoy your music. Don't do it, bro! And there we go. We have learned our second Ocarina song. That's very nice. We actually could not have come back and gotten this before we visited Zelda, because Saria would have just been chilling in her house being all like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're safe, Harvey. Mirror me, mirror." Yeah, this song has two functions, which we're going to be using both of them, because we can talk with Saria whenever we use Saria's song. And when we do it right next to her like this, she just says, "Oh, you know, we don't need to do the song right here, Harvey." But if we do it and we say we do not need to talk to Saria, play the song, Harvey. Come on, come on. I have very little time. I'm a very busy man. No, I do not want to talk to Saria. Thank you very much. Yes, I do. You might notice that even though I promised that I was going to be reading everything that Navi said in each section, I missed out doing that in the beginning of the video. And those of you who know every single thing that Navi says knows that in the very beginning, she actually, before we come to see Saria, she actually says, what would Saria say if she knew we were saving the world? So, there you go. That's your Navi report for now. We are going to listen to Navi one more time in this video at the very end, but I promise that's it. This is a fairy's fountain. It's not going to be very important for me, because this is the only time you will see me grab a fairy. If I can at all, avoid it. But yeah, fairies are very useful. Fairies will, if you capture them in an empty bottle, which we'll see me getting a little bit later, and you die, they will bring you back to life with, I think it's all your hearts, actually. I think it's only in later games they made fairies only bring you back with half hearts. But yes, if you die, it brings you back with all of your hearts, I think. And if you release one, you know, earlier on, you can do that. If you grab them, they fill up all your hearts. They're a very useful anti-death. Death to Capriel, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to call him Owl, whatever. I'm horrible at pronouncing things. So, okay, he's basically just explaining that there are songs that there are, and we should try and, you know, play them at different places. Blah, blah, blah. This is just really another tutorial thing. It's a tutorial and a suggestion, that's really all it is. He never has anything good to say except for once. And I know I'm talking through my jump cut blackouts, and I don't really know if that's professional or not, but I don't care. I'm not trying to be pro right here. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to have fun playing a video game. Anyways, and commentating over it. But now that we have Saria's song, let's... Oh god, that's... Okay. So you play Saria's song for Darunia, for the big boss, and he starts waving his arms around in ways that physics usually would not allow anybody to wave their arms around. He's even phasing through a spear. His joy is so great. He's transcending physical limitations. Somebody stop him quickly. And, yeah, it's basically one of the funniest parts in the entire game. Just seeing him go batshit. And if you never click your A button right there, or whatever button you use to get out of things, he'll just dance forever. He'll dance the whole night through, but we are very busy people, so... Yes, it is a very nice tune, I know. I'm glad that we didn't have to use, possibly addictive tablets. Yes, I know you are Darunia. Yes, we've heard this, big boss. We've heard about this before. I don't want the Spiritual Stone of Fire. I need the Spiritual Stone of Fire to save the world. But, of course, he's not gonna let us have it that easy. He sees a child, and he's probably in this whole joke with Zelda, too. So he's all like, "Oh, hey, why don't you go destroy the monsters inside Dongo's cavern, pal? Not wink wink, nudge nudge, you know." He's in this whole thing. Let's throw a child into a deadly situation. I know it's a video game and I shouldn't take it that seriously, and I'm not. I'm trying not to. But at the same time, it's really funny to think about a child being all like, "What is supposed to do, man?" Anyways, he's giving us a pretty cool little item right here. It allows us to pick up bushes and bombs. 2 Bs. It is the Goron's bracelet. 3rd B? Whatever. Anyways, it lets us do that. And in Ocarina of Time, like the N64, GameCube versions, it just recreates the texture on your left wrist, But in the 3DS version, it is this gigantic bangle of bling and awesome. It's pretty much the coolest looking thing that Kid Link wears. But now that we have it, we're basically done with everything up until the caverns. So let's just head over to that area. These stairways, by the way, can be a little bit confusing the first time you play, but after you do that, you're pretty set, I think. You should be pretty set after doing it once. Welcome back to Death Mountain Trail, everybody. And there goes the Kamikaze Goron. He's one of those things, by the way, that if Link does not look at it, it will not keep on happening. So let's pick up this bomb and toss it. Please, 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 please. Yes! This is the first time ever, I think, that I managed to get that boulder in one toss. It's always taken me like somewhere between 2 and 10 tosses. I am absolutely horrible at aiming bombs when the target is not in front of me. Anyway, like, I just heard it again. There he is, okay. If you talk to him after he blows himself up a little bit, he will basically explain that he was rolling down the hill trying to get to the boulder so he could blow it up and become a big hero and everybody would love him. And then maybe he could find himself a mate. Even though there don't seem to be any female Gorons. Ever, actually. Unless these are female Gorons, some of them, in which case that's just horrifying. Alright, so yeah, that's what Navi says right before you go into Goron's Cavern. Goron's Cavern, yeah. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Let's wrap it up a little bit. Let's see, what did Harvey do today? He talked to some skull people. He invaded a grave to get himself a shield. He blew up some rocks, disconnecting 2 people, and convinced an ISO-nationalist leader to allow a Hylian to save him from his problems. And that Hylian just happens to be a child. I think it's a pretty good day, so we're going to wrap it up. I will see all of you later and on the thread.